You've been fighting a silent war, a battle that no one sees, a war in your mind. They don't know what you've been through. They have no clue what it costs you every single day to keep going. Yet they judge you. They talk behind your back. They think you're weak because you've been silent, because you haven't screamed out in pain. They think you're lost because you haven't acted like them. Well, I'm here to tell you something. They were wrong. You're not weak. You're not lost. You're just a warrior in disguise, and they will find out sooner or later what happens when you unleash. You wiped them. You tore them down and you didn't even know it. You thought you were just trying to survive, just trying to get through the day. You didn't realize you were crushing them. You didn't see the damage you were leaving in your wake. But here's the truth. Every time you kept quiet when they expected you to cry, every time you pushed forward when they thought you would break, you were wiping them. They never understood your strength. They never realized that their attacks, their insults, their belittling, it was just fuel for the fire inside you. You didn't bend, you didn't snap. You just kept moving, one foot in front of the other. You didn't give them the satisfaction of seeing you fall. They didn't know how badly they underestimated you. They didn't see the depth of the storm brewing inside you. They thought they could walk all over you, but you were quietly sharpening your weapons. You've been in the trenches, battling every damn day. And now, God is rushing to repay you. They think they've gotten away with it. They haven't. But they'll know soon enough. You've been out of sight, out of mind. You've been quiet while they lived their lives, thinking you were easy to forget. You haven't asked for anything. You haven't begged for help. You've simply kept moving. But let me make this clear. The day is coming. The day when they will feel the full weight of their mistake. And it won't be you who destroys them. No, this time, God will be the one doing the wiping. They'll see what happens when they push you too far. You've been underestimated. And now the universe is watching. They don't know what's coming. You've been preparing. All those sleepless nights, all those moments when you didn't feel like getting up, but you did anyway, and that wasn't just survival. That was you building an empire. That was you growing into something they couldn't even begin to comprehend. They were blind to it. But soon, they'll open their eyes and realize that they weren't dealing with just anybody. They were dealing with a force of nature. So now ask yourself, are you going to keep letting them believe that they were right about you? Are you going to let them live in the comfort of their ignorance, thinking that you were nothing more than a passing shadow? Or are you ready to show them the storm that's been brewing inside you? This is war, and you're about to be a storm they never saw coming. They thought you were weak, but God is rushing to repay you for every moment they doubted you. Get ready. The reckoning is near. They told you that success comes easy. They told you that the rich, the powerful, the successful, they all had it handed to them on a silver platter. They told you that if you just played by the rules, worked a little harder, smiled a little more, the world would owe you something in return. They lied. They lied to you because it makes them feel better. They lie because they can't bear the thought of you seeing the truth. So they built their empire on deception, and they dragged you into it. They sold you the fairy tale. That hard work pays off, that all you need to do is show up and put in the time. They told you to wait your turn. They told you that your time would come, just be patient. But let me ask you, how long has it been since you've been waiting? How long have you been standing there watching others pass by while you wait for your turn? How many times did you sacrifice your dreams for the comfort of others just to fit in, just to survive? You've been living in their lie for far too long. They've wrapped you in this blanket of mediocrity, convincing you that all the pain, all the struggle, all the broken pieces were just part of the journey. But they've been feeding you scraps, telling you that this is all you deserve. They've been convincing you that your circumstances were your fault, that your struggles were a reflection of your inability to succeed. They've lied to you about your value. They've made you believe that you were born to settle for the scraps while they feasted on the real rewards of life. But the real question is, who the hell told you that you weren't worthy of greatness? Who told you that you didn't deserve to dominate, to conquer, to rule? Who told you that your dreams were too big? Who said you couldn't have it all? The answer is simple. It's them. They've spent their entire lives trying to convince you that greatness was for others, for the ones who were lucky enough to be born with some magical gene, the ones who had opportunities handed to them, the ones who were born with silver spoons in their mouths. But here's the thing. Luck doesn't make you great. Privilege doesn't build empires. No amount of random circumstance will lead to success unless you've got the heart to make it happen, the grit to get through the pain, and the savage determination to burn everything in your path until there's nothing left but your victory. And that's where they went wrong. They didn't realize that you were never meant to play by their rules. You were never meant to sit in their classroom, learn their lessons, or follow their path. You were made to break the system, to tear it down and rebuild it in your image. You were born to be relentless. They fed you their lie that you were small, that you didn't have the power, but deep down you knew it wasn't true. You knew that there was something inside you, something primal and untamed, that was meant to rise. So let me tell you the truth. The world doesn't owe you anything. There's no magic fairy dust sprinkled over the lucky few. Success is earned, it's clawed for, it's stolen from the hands of those who refuse to take no for an answer. And you've been waiting for someone to hand it to you. You've been sitting back, letting them dictate your worth, your journey. You've allowed their lies to shape your reality, telling yourself, maybe one day I'll get there. Maybe one day it will be my turn. Let me break something to you right now. There is no one day. That day you've been waiting for, it's an illusion. That perfect time you've been hoping for, it doesn't exist. It never has. The world doesn't give you your shot. You take it. You don't wait for permission. You don't ask for a seat at the table. You build your own damn table and you sit at the head. But you've been so wrapped up in their narrative, so tied to their lies, that you never realize the power you hold in your hands. You've been conditioned to think that pain is a sign that you're failing. But pain is your ally. Pain is your compass. It tells you that you're on the right path, that you're pushing the limits, that you're not backing down. When they tell you to give up, when they tell you it's too much, that's when you dig in. That's when you show them who the hell you are. They told you to be patient, but patience doesn't get you to the top. Relentless action does. Every time they told you to wait, you should have been working. Every time they told you that it would happen in due time, you should have been out there making it happen. Time doesn't wait for anyone. And if you don't go out there and fight for what's yours, you will get left behind. The winners don't wait for opportunity to knock. They create their own opportunities, and they destroy anyone who dares to stand in their way. They told you to be content. They told you that just being good enough was okay, that you didn't have to be the best, just better than the rest. They told you that being average was enough. But let me tell you something. Average people don't change the world. Average people don't dominate. Average people don't rise from the ashes and leave a legacy behind. The extraordinary do. The outliers. The ones who burn everything in their path to reach the top. Those are the people who are remembered. And you're not meant to be average. So here's the reality check. If you've been living by their lies, it's time to break free. You've been told that greatness is out of your reach, that it's something only a select few are born with. But that's a lie. You were born with the fire inside you. You just have to wake it up. You were never meant to sit back and wait. You were meant to charge forward, to take what's yours, to leave no stone unturned and no regret in your heart. So, stop waiting. Stop listening to the lies. Stop thinking that one day it will be your turn. Your time is right now. It's time to stop following their path. It's time to carve your own. Here it is. The truth. The raw, unfiltered reality that no one wants to face. But you need to hear it. You've been living in a fantasy, thinking that things will change just because you want them to. But let's get this straight. Wanting it isn't enough. You can dream as big as you want, but if you're not willing to fight for it, those dreams will remain nothing more than fragile fantasies. No one owes you a damn thing. You don't deserve success because you want it. You deserve it because you're willing to bleed for it, to burn for it, to die for it, if that's what it takes. So let's stop pretending like the universe is going to give you what you want just because you've put in a little bit of work. Let's stop romanticizing struggle as if it's some noble cause. The truth is brutal. The world is ruthless. The world is unforgiving. And if you're sitting there thinking it owes you something, thinking that people should just recognize your worth, then you're living in a delusion. No one cares about your struggles. They care about results. They care about what you can do, what you've built, and how hard you're willing to push through every single obstacle that stands in your way. And right now you're still standing in your own way. You've been lying to yourself, haven't you? You've convinced yourself that tomorrow will be the day you take action, that next week things will change, that next year will be different. But let's get one thing clear. Tomorrow doesn't exist. You've been wasting time, day after day, month after month, year after year, telling yourself that you'll change, that you'll start doing the work, that you'll start making moves. And where has it gotten you? Where has that waiting, that one-day mentality taken you? Nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. Every single moment that you waste, every second that you hold yourself back, you're allowing the world to pass you by. While you're sitting there, comfortable in your excuses, other people are taking what's yours. They're out there taking the risks, putting in the work, making the sacrifices, and they're winning. And the sad part? They're not smarter than you. They're not better than you. They don't have some magical advantage that you don't. They've simply figured out what you refuse to accept. The only thing standing between you and your dreams is your own damn fear. It's that fear that holds you back from picking up the phone, from making the first move, from taking that step forward when everything inside you screams, you can't do it. It's that fear that keeps you small, that keeps you hiding in the shadows of potential, too scared to break free, too comfortable in your mediocrity to fight for the life you know deep down you were born for. But the truth is this: fear isn't your enemy. Fear is your ally. Fear is what's going to show you where your limits lie, and once you push past them, you'll see that there are no limits at all. Every time you back down from fear, you lose. Every time you let fear control you, you lose. But every time you face fear head on, every time you run straight into the storm instead of away from it, you win. And here's the cold, hard truth: you're still too scared to take that step. You're still too scared to fail. You're still too scared to look stupid. You're still too scared to fail in front of others, to let the world see you fall. But here's something you need to understand: falling isn't failure. Falling is a part of the process. You're going to fail. And guess what? It's going to hurt. It's going to sting like hell. You're going to feel like you're broken. But the truth is, falling isn't the problem. It's staying down that kills you. The people who rise aren't the ones who never fall. The people who rise are the ones who get knocked down and refuse to stay there. They rise because they know that every failure, every scar, every battle is just another step toward the victory that's waiting for them. But here's what you refuse to accept: the harder you push, the more it will hurt. Success isn't for the faint of heart. It's not for those who want things to come easily. It's not for those who want to avoid pain. Success is for the ones who can take the hit, get back up, and keep coming back stronger every single time. So why are you still here lying to yourself? Why are you still thinking that things are going to change without you putting in the blood, sweat, and tears? Why are you sitting there waiting for someone to give you permission to win? You don't need permission. You just need to start. Here's the truth that's going to sting the most: you're the one holding yourself back. You're the one keeping yourself in the prison of comfort, in the safety of your own excuses. You've convinced yourself that you're too busy, too tired, too overwhelmed to take the leap, to make the change. You've convinced yourself that you're too old, too young, too inexperienced, too broke. But I'm telling you this right now: every excuse you've made is a lie you've told yourself. And deep down, you know it. You think you don't have the resources, the time, the energy, the skills. But here's the truth: there is never going to be a perfect moment. There is never going to be a time when everything falls into place. The stars won't align. The universe won't send you a sign. It's all up to you. And it's time to stop waiting for a miracle. The miracle you've been waiting for is inside you. The moment you decide to act, everything you need will start to show up. Right now, you're sitting on the edge of greatness, but the only thing standing between you and that greatness is your own decision to take the leap. No more waiting. No more excuses. It's time to step into the fire and burn away everything that's holding you back. Let me paint you a picture. The world doesn't wait for you. It doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't care about your setbacks, your excuses, your fears. It moves. It evolves. It leaves behind the weak, the complacent, the ones who thought they had time, the ones who procrastinated their way into oblivion. And one day, you're going to wake up and look around, only to realize that everyone else has moved ahead. Everyone else is winning. Everyone else is claiming what's rightfully yours, and all that's left for you is regret. That's the consequence of weakness. You think that playing it safe is going to save you. You think that if you just sit back and let life happen, the universe will magically reward you with success, happiness, or fulfillment. Let me tell you right now, life doesn't care about your comfort. Life will chew you up and spit you out. If you refuse to fight for what you want, your weakness will be your downfall. You see, the consequences of weakness aren't just about failing. They're not just about missing out on opportunities. It's about losing yourself in the process. It's about watching everyone around you move forward, knowing deep down that you had the same opportunities, the same chances, the same time, but you were too scared, too comfortable, too lazy to take them. And now, you're stuck. Stuck in a life that's far from what you dreamed it would be. Stuck in a routine that you hate. Stuck in a cycle of regret that's eating you alive. What happens when you don't take action? You get left behind. But that's not even the worst part. The worst part is the internal damage. Every time you back down from a challenge, every time you let fear keep you small, it chips away at who you are. You lose your confidence. You lose your self-respect. You lose the very essence of who you are. And the longer you let this happen, the harder it becomes to climb out of the hole you've dug yourself into. It becomes so easy to settle for mediocrity, to accept the life you have because deep down, you start to believe that it's all you're capable of. But here's the thing. You were made for more than this. You were made for greatness. But if you continue down this path of weakness, if you keep making excuses and sitting on the sidelines, that greatness will slip away from you. It will drift further and further out of reach until you've forgotten what it even feels like to chase something with passion, with fire. And when you look in the mirror, all you'll see is a shell of the person you could have been. A ghost of your true potential. If you don't take action, the regret will haunt you. It will sit in the pit of your stomach, gnawing at you, whispering to you that you could have been more, that you could have done more, but you didn't. And once that regret sets in, it doesn't leave. It stays with you forever. The opportunity that you didn't take, the business you didn't start, the relationships you didn't pursue, they'll all haunt you. Every single moment that you let slip by will come back to remind you of what you could have had. And you'll hate yourself for not fighting harder, for not pushing past your own bullshit. And what's worse, the world will have moved on. The opportunities that once existed will no longer be there. The people who once gave you a chance will have moved on, and you'll be left standing in the wreckage of your own complacency, staring at a life you could have built but didn't. And you'll have no one to blame but yourself. Your weakness will be your greatest regret. This is the consequence of living in fear, of living in comfort, of avoiding the struggle. It's not just about missing out on success, it's about missing out on life itself. You're letting your fear dictate your decisions, and in doing so, you're handing over your power. The power to create, to build, to destroy your limitations, and rise above them. You're giving that power away. Every day you stay stuck in your comfort zone, you lose a little bit more of yourself. You lose the drive to push, the hunger to succeed, the fire that once burned inside you. You settle for less, and over time, less becomes all you know. You get used to the pain of settling. You get used to the quiet ache of knowing that you're not living up to your full potential. But it's not just a temporary feeling. It grows. It becomes a deep, gnawing emptiness that follows you wherever you go. A reminder of the greatness you've allowed to slip away because you weren't willing to do what it takes to claim it. And here's the thing. The people who succeed aren't the ones who have it easy. They're the ones who refuse to give in to weakness. They're the ones who wake up every day and choose to fight, no matter what. They push past the doubt, the fear, the exhaustion. They keep moving, keep grinding, keep rising because they know what's at stake. They know that if they don't, they'll become just another statistic, another person who could have been great, but wasn't willing to do the work. And here's the hardest truth. The world won't care if you're too scared to take the leap. It won't care if you have self-doubt. It won't care if you don't feel ready. The world moves forward regardless. It doesn't wait for you to catch up. It doesn't wait for you to find your courage. It doesn't wait for anything. It just keeps going. And either you jump in or you get left behind, and if you get left behind, don't come crying. Don't come looking for sympathy. You made your choice. You chose comfort over action. You chose fear over courage. And now you'll live with the consequences. The world doesn't care about your reasons, your excuses, your setbacks. It only cares about results. And if you don't produce, you're irrelevant. So here's the ultimatum. Step up or stay down. You decide. You've got one life, one shot. Stop wasting it. Stop being weak. Stop letting fear control you. Because if you keep on the path of weakness, you'll regret it for the rest of your life. And when you reach the end, you'll look back at all the opportunities you missed, the chances you didn't take, the dreams you didn't pursue, and you'll know you could have been more. But you didn't. The consequences of weakness are real, and they'll haunt you. It's time for you to make a choice. Right now, this second. You can keep lying to yourself, telling yourself you'll change tomorrow. You can keep on with the same pathetic excuses, watching your life drift by as you slowly die inside, knowing that you're not living up to your potential. Or you can choose to rise. You can choose to step into the fire and let it forge you into something unbreakable, unstoppable. But only if you make the decision right now. Stop wasting your energy on thinking that tomorrow will somehow be different. Tomorrow will be the same as today unless you decide right now that you're going to fight. Fight for your life. Fight for your future. Fight for everything that's been stolen from you. Fight for the person you were always meant to be. You have no more time to waste. The clock is ticking. Every second you hesitate is another second you've lost in the pit of complacency. You think you're waiting for the right moment, but the truth is the moment is now. The fire you need to transform into the person you're meant to be is already inside you. It's always been there. All it takes is a spark, a choice to ignite it. So stop waiting. Stop looking for permission. Stop asking for approval. The world is full of weak-minded people, people who choose to stay stuck in their comfort zones, too scared to move, too scared to take risks. And then there are the warriors, the ones who refuse to stay down, the ones who rise up, no matter how many times they've been knocked down. You decide which one you'll be. Are you going to be the one who lies down and accepts mediocrity? Or are you going to rise like the warrior you were born to be? You have everything you need inside you. But it's not enough to just know that. It's not enough to just believe that you have what it takes. You've got to prove it. Every single day. You've got to wake up every morning, look yourself in the mirror, and know that you're ready to fight. Fight for your dreams. Fight for your future. Fight for your freedom. It's time to get real. This life doesn't give you a second chance. If you want to achieve greatness, you have to earn it. No one's going to give it to you. No one's going to hand you success on a silver platter. You've got to take it. You've got to rip it out of the hands of life and claim what's yours. And if you're not willing to do that, if you're not willing to fight with every ounce of your being, then you don't deserve success. You don't deserve anything but the life you've been settling for. But if you do rise, if you decide that enough is enough and you fight with everything you've got, then, and only then, will you become something greater than you ever imagined. Something untouchable, unstoppable, a force of nature. This is the turning point. This is where you break free from your chains. This is where you let go of the past, the failures, the mistakes. This is where you stop looking for a way out and start looking for a way up. And it starts with you choosing right now to embrace the pain, the struggle, the discomfort. Because that's where growth happens. That's where the power lies. The person you are today will not be the person you are tomorrow if you choose to fight, if you choose to rise. It's not going to be easy. It never is. But that's the beauty of it. The pain, the struggle, the sweat, it all means you're moving forward. Every step you take through the fire will burn away the weakness, the fear, the doubt. It will purify you. It will forge you into someone who can't be stopped. And that's the only version of you that matters. So stand up. Stand tall. Look at the person staring back at you in the mirror and make them proud. Because right now they're either standing in the shadows of their own fear or they're rising. And the choice is yours. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have it all figured out. But you do have to show up. Every single day you have to push, you have to fight. You have to climb, crawl, do whatever it takes to break through the barriers in your way. And let me tell you something. There will always be barriers. There will always be setbacks. There will always be obstacles. But that's where the warriors are made. That's where your true power lies. Not in avoiding the struggle, but in embracing it, using it as fuel to drive you forward. You're not here to play small. You're not here to be average. You're here to conquer. And the only way to conquer is to embrace the pain, to let it shape you into something unshakable. You're not here to survive. You're here to thrive. So don't waste another second. Don't let fear control you anymore. Don't let excuses keep you in the same place. Rise. Break free from the chains of your past and take what's rightfully yours. The world is waiting for you to show up. And if you don't, someone else will. Someone else will claim what you could have had. Someone else will take your spot. But if you rise, you'll own your place in this world. You'll become the force that everyone fears, the person who can't be stopped, and you'll know, deep down, that you are exactly who you were always meant to be. So what are you going to do? Are you going to stay down, or are you going to rise? The choice is yours. Now, it's time. The final call. The one that will define whether you stay where you are or break through to who you are truly meant to become. This isn't a question. This is a command. No more hesitation. No more waiting. No more excuses. The clock is ticking, and every second you waste puts you one step further away from the life you've been dreaming about. It's time to rise. Right now. You think you've got time? You don't. Tomorrow isn't promised. The next hour isn't promised. All you have is right now. The decision you make right this second will determine everything. You've heard the stories. You've seen the successful ones rise, the ones who decided that enough was enough. You've watched them climb, with nothing but sheer determination pushing them forward. And now, it's your turn. The world doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care about your struggles. It doesn't care about your sob story or your sobbing in the night. It's brutal. It's cold. But it's also ready to reward you, if you're willing to meet it halfway. If you're willing to shed the weakness, the cowardice, the mediocrity. No one is coming to save you. No one. There's no magical fairy godmother who's going to wave a wand and give you a perfect life. That's all a lie. If you want success, you have to take it. If you want your dreams, you have to fight for them. This world doesn't care if you're tired. It doesn't care if you're scared. It doesn't care if you feel like you've been through enough. The world only cares if you rise. You want to be someone who makes excuses, or you want to be someone who makes history? You want to keep playing the victim, or you want to be the one who stands at the top looking down at the ones who once doubted you? Stop the self-pity. Stop the wallowing. It's over. It ends now. You've got the tools. You've got the fire. You've got everything you need. The only thing left is to decide. To decide that you're done with being small, with being weak, with being invisible. You are ready to be seen, ready to be heard, ready to take up space in this world and demand respect. The time is now. The battle is here. You know the consequences of weakness. You've felt them in your bones. You've seen them in the lost opportunities, the broken dreams, the constant disappointments. You've seen them in the lives of others, and you've felt the sting of regret gnawing at your soul. But that doesn't have to be your fate. You can choose. You can choose to break free, to rise above your circumstances, to become the warrior you were always meant to be. But it starts right now. Right now, you choose to embrace the pain. You choose to embrace the struggle, to see it not as a burden, but as the weight that's going to make you stronger. You choose to embrace the discomfort, knowing that with every ounce of energy you put into this fight, you're getting closer to who you were born to be. And there's no going back after this. Once you make the choice to rise, there's no retreat. You're not going to retreat back into that comfortable lie of mediocrity. You're not going to fall back into the pit of excuses and inaction. You're in this fight now. So here's the command. Here's the order. Move. Move forward, no matter how hard it gets. Move through the pain. Move through the fear. Move through the doubt. Because when you move, you leave behind everything that's been holding you back. When you move, you push yourself one step closer to the life you deserve. When you move, you show the world, and more importantly, you show yourself, that you are capable of more than you ever believed. Keep moving. Stop waiting for everything to be perfect. Stop waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect circumstances, the perfect opportunity. There's no such thing. The moment is now, and the only way to get to where you want to go is to start. This is not the time to play small. This is not the time to doubt. This is the time to fight. You've been handed the weapons. You've been given the power. Now it's time to use them. No more sitting back waiting for someone else to make your dreams come true. That person doesn't exist. You are that person. So stand tall, stand firm, and step into the future that you've been fighting for, the one that you know you deserve. But first, you've got to answer the question, will you rise? There's no turning back. There's no second chance. This is the moment. This is the choice that will define you. Now go. Go out and make your mark. Go out and become the legend you were always destined to be. The war is yours to win. Now, rise.